We're up to the final video of my coverage of 1999 Deluxe Edition. We're gonna cover the live stuff this time. Hey everybody, welcome back to Prince's Friend, exploring music through Prince. I've been having an amazing time doing these, and I'm hoping that you're liking them. If you are, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, so you always know when we put out new videos. We have actually a bunch more videos still coming before the end of 2019, but today we're going to be covering the live discs that were included with 1999 Deluxe. Now, the reason that I decided to go ahead and do them both in one video is that they're not that different when it comes to the organization of the songs. There is slight differences in the order, and they move some songs around, and there's definitely some differences in some of the ad-libbing and whatnot, but they are two shows from the same tours. It still essentially is the same core experience, even though the beauty of all of this is to hear two live recordings of the same tour, and both shows are vastly different from each other in terms of the execution. So first off, let me go ahead and address the live disc, and then we're gonna go talk about the live DVD. The live disc, I listened to it twice on Thanksgiving in the morning when me and my wife, we were cleaning and cooking and doing a bunch of stuff. We were listening to the live disc, and I listened to it and I was just like, this is just amazing. Like, it was so engaging, and you could feel the crowd and their excitement while they were there. I mean, it was just amazing. I really thought that the sound quality of this particular concert was really good. The one thing that I think I liked better on the CD than the DVD as well was that the concert ended with D.M.S.R, which I thought was an amazing kind of party ending song. I recently just went and saw my friend Sir Jack, and he did a concert, and it was an amazing funk cabaret. I'll talk more about that later because it was really great. But he ended his concert with D.M.S.R, and it brought everybody to the floor, and everybody was dancing and having a crazy time. And I'm like, yeah, see, like D.M.S.R, like that is an encore song. That's an ending song in my opinion. So I really liked that difference in the track list for the CD versus the DVD. Now let's go ahead and jump to the DVD, because the DVD was obviously, I think, what people were more anticipating than the live audio, because the live audio was good. But, you know, the visual component, Prince a lot of the time was very visual, and there was stuff to learn out of what you saw as well. But I want to say up front that the audio on the CD is like way better than the audio on the DVD. I don't know if there was just not a way to clean it up or whatever, because it was attached to, I don't even know, I'm not sure. But the audio itself was just way better balanced and everything on the audio CD. But again, the visual aid and everything still makes it enjoyable, despite the fact that there's a downgrade in the audio comparatively. But now, before I get into the concert itself, I do just want to say that the disc, as soon as you put it into your DVD player, it just starts playing. Like, there's no menu, there's no title, there's no extras. It just, you stick it in, it starts playing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But the disc protections was an issue for me, because when I stuck it initially into my DVD player, it started having issues. It was my Xbox One, it was having some issues with the disc drive. So I was like, you know, I don't really need to deal with the Xbox and it having an issue, so I'll just put it into my computer and I'll just rip it, and then I can stream it from my computer to the Xbox, which is a way that I can do that, and I'll just do it that way. It's fine. And anyway, I kind of wanted it digitally for my own digital collection, because I have all of my stuff digitally. Well, the protections made it so that I couldn't do that. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just play it on my computer, and I'll just use AirPlay using, you know, Apple devices. I'll just put AirPlay, and I'll just AirPlay it over to my TV, which is, you know, set up for AirPlay. And that didn't work, because the protections allowed me to send the audio but would not send the video. And I was like, wow, like, this is just not working out for me. So I ended up having to take a day to kind of work on my Xbox One and figure out why it wasn't playing and whatnot. And then I was able to get it to start working, but it delayed me actually watching this DVD for a few days, especially with the holidays and stuff kind of also causing some interference there. So I just want to state up front, like, I know that a lot of companies think that, you know, putting protections on the DVDs is going to keep them from getting illegally copied and, you know, know, we have to protect our investment, but like all you're doing is creating issues for the people who have already purchased it. Anyway, that's just me complaining a bit, and I've always thought that like disc protections and stuff generally are a little annoying, and they also didn't have this kind of protection for the Purple Rain Deluxe or the DVD for Raven to the Year 2000. So this is actually a new thing that they've upped the level of protection on the disc. I don't think it was necessary, but I mean, I guess they did. Now the audio is good. Again, I said it, you know, slight downgrade from the CD part, but the DVD audio is good. The video quality, however, I was really kind of hoping for more. It wasn't as good a quality as the Prince and the Revolution Live, but it was still good. The problem that I had with some of the parts, like for instance when he first started off on the show with Controversy, is that one as well as a couple of the other tracks were all kind of in the dark. So it was like you saw like an outline of Prince, which worked when he was against like the silhouette, like the big light board in the back, and he was against it and you could see his silhouette, and that kind of worked. But then they would drop the lights on some of the songs when he was on the stage proper, like not behind the big light wall, and then it was just like you would just see like an outline of him, and like it was just interesting how they used the strobe effect and whatnot. I mean, they used it pretty good through most of the concert, and I think what I'm saying is that the video quality mixed with some of the lighting choices in Prince's show made it a little bit difficult to see what was happening. I mean, but overall I still really did enjoy it. During Let's Work, I really dug it because Dez really gets a really cool guitar solo, and he gets another one on Lady Cab Driver as well, so I think Dez was doing some really good guitar work here on the show. What I noticed is that Prince would have the guitar for some songs and not on others, and I think that he wasn't 100% in his stage show at this particular moment, or at least at this particular show, because you could see that every so often, if he didn't have a guitar there to kind of ground him and like make him feel safe, kind of like a safety blanket, he would kind of move around, he would make like weird jerks, and he would kind of move kind of goofily, but like you could tell that when he had a guitar in his hand, he was way more comfortable. And it's definitely something that he grew out of, because I've seen a ton of live performances of his, and with or without a guitar, you know, he masters it all. But you can feel like his still relative newness, even at this stage in his career. Going to some of the lighter notes of the concert, he did really good on Do Me Baby, as well as on How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore. On Do Me Baby, he actually decided to not have a guitar, and he was like seducing his mic stand, kind of using it as a placeholder. I thought that was really interesting. And Do Me Baby too was where I've heard some people online and in some of the chat rooms and Facebook groups and whatnot, and they've been saying like, is the audio sorta out of sync on your disc? And you know what, I didn't notice it during any other song, but I noticed it slightly during Do Me Baby, that it was just ever so just out of sync. Not enough to like ruin my enjoyment of it or anything, but I noticed it because I had heard somebody saying it. I was like, that must be what they were saying. It seemed like it got right back in sync, so it wasn't an issue, but there was just a slight hiccup there. On How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore too, Prince did the same thing that he did on the audio disc, but he would like scream like, how come you don't call me? And then he would kind of ad-lib, kind of have a discussion with the audience, and I actually really liked this version, though I did like the audio CD version of it more, because, you know, he was really kind of having fun like, oh, she ain't gonna call, she must be with another man. On this one, it was more just kind of pleading and whatnot. But it was really fun. I liked that kind of take on it. And then International Lover was one of those times in the concert where it kind of got dark, but they used like this red kind of light on him, which was really kind of sexy. And he ended up kind of like seducing the crowd, and then a bed came up in the back, and he went to the bed and had sex with it to airplane noises. I mean, if you're talking like amazing showmanship here, that's Prince for you right there. Sex to airplane noises. I don't know if anybody else could pull that off. There's a certain point during Lady Cab Driver 2 where I realized that Des Dickerson was chewing gum the whole concert. I mean, and I don't know if he did and we just didn't see it, but he also didn't like change the piece. Like, how can you chew the same piece of gum for like a whole hour and maybe not even switch it out? Who knows? It could have been behind the scenes. Cause like for me, I'll chew a piece of gum for like 2 minutes, and as soon as the flavor's gone, like it's out. And I'm just like, man, Des loves him some gum. Wait, where was I again? Oh yeah, by the end of the concert, Des has no shirt. Prince has no shirt. Brown Mark looked like he still had a shirt near the end. And also, when they went to 1999, Jill Jones actually got to come out on stage, and I was like, ah, Jill Jones! And it was really cool to kind of see her in her element, and, you know, she was on stage performing too, so that was actually fun. I overall really kind of didn't like the live performance of 1999 on the DVD though, which is so weird because I loved it on the audio CD and I love every other version of 1999. But again, I think it's the limitations of the recording software or whatnot, because Prince's, Dez's, and Lisa and Jill's, their voices weren't really meshing well together, like they were standing out and kind of clashing. The music itself felt like it was lower than the voices, so there was just like some issues with some of that. At the same time though, I really enjoyed it because Prince was on stage like hamming it up for the crowd and like really putting on like an amazing show. I don't know if maybe he heard the same things I heard, so he's like, I gotta turn this up to 11 and make sure that like this doesn't turn anybody off here. And then of course he ended it with some like amazing guitar work, so of course that ended up saving it. But yeah, I think that was probably the only kind of downer note in the whole concert, was just that one song, because all the other songs sounded really good, were performed to perfection, and you know, despite a few visual and audio kind of hiccups, I thought it was pretty good. So here's my final conclusion for the 1999 Deluxe Edition. I have to say, on the whole, definitely worth it. It is 5 CDs, 1 DVD, and basically costs around $60. You can get it for cheaper if you can get it on sale or whatever. But basically, the estate has continued the trend of charging $10 per disc. Regardless if it's a CD or a DVD, regardless of how many songs are on it or whatever, it's gonna be $10 a disc, and like, it makes it really easy. And I would say even though disc 2 was, you know, promo mixes and B-sides and stuff like that, it was really cool to get those B-sides and the special dance remix of Little Red Corvette remastered. The remastered disc itself of 1999 was perfection. The 2 discs of vault tracks could have been organized to maybe tell a little bit more of a story, but also on the whole, kind of mixing them up made it a little bit even more fun. It's more like a grab bag sort of thing. And then of course these live performances were really, really good. Going back to the booklet that's included with the set, again, I think it's really cool that we got all those stories. I think the only downfall to the booklet is that each of the articles makes some reference to Peggy McCreary, and yet there's no interview or article or whatever from Peggy McCreary. I felt like that was perhaps one of the voices that was missing. I also think it would have been cool to have Jill Jones involved with this, because she was a part of this project. She was Prince's protege for a while there, and I think her insights on 1999, I think it would have been cool to have some of her thoughts on it as well. And those aren't big missteps. Maybe they weren't available, who knows? But on the whole, I would say this set's awesome and you should own it. And if you don't own it already, hopefully I've done enough to make you want to own it, and you should go get it. There's a link in the description. Otherwise, I want to know what you guys thought of the live audio, the live DVD, but also the set as a whole. Let me know what you guys think. I want to thank everybody for coming and checking out my review of the 1999 Deluxe Edition. I know there are a whole bunch of other places to go listen to Prince experts talk about 1999 Deluxe, and I'm happy that you took the time to come listen to my thoughts here. I did try to take my time with listening to it so I could really give kind of genuine thoughts that I had mulled over a bit. And if you liked those thoughts and you liked this review, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. Follow us on social media, that's at PrincessFriendYT on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also in the month of December, we're doing a really awesome share on the Patreon. You can find that at patreon.com/princessfriend if you want to join in on the fun. Otherwise, may you live to see the dawn. I love you all. See you in the next video.